Most buyers know within the first few minutes of looking at a home inside if it's something that they're interested in. So this may not be something that they're going to purchase without seeing it in person, of course, but it could definitely be a very first step for them to see if it's something that they're interested in and want to set up an actual walkthrough showing on. I'm Jennifer Livingston, and I am co-chair of our Metro YPN committee, and I'm also a member of the board of directors at SPAR.
What is a virtual showing?
A virtual showing can happen in a few different ways. So the buyer's agent can go to the home by themselves, and they can use a smartphone or tablet on a different platform of their choosing. Some of the popular ones are Google Duo. So if you have an Android phone, that's usually already preloaded on your phone. I know Apple also has FaceTime. You can also use Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, Zoom, Google Hangouts. Most of the platforms that we have today have some type of video that you can be calling with somebody. So you can enter the home, you can be having your buyer on the phone, and you can walk around with your cell phone and they can be seeing what you are seeing. Another option that they now have is that the listing agent could be doing the virtual showing. So they could talk to or have on the buyer and the buyer's agent all at the same time, in some type of Zoom platform, or one where you can have more than 2 people on there, so that the buyer's agent is present and the buyer is present and the listing agent is actually at the home walking them around. Another option that people have been doing as well as the listing agent is when you have your photographer go out and take photos, you can also have them do some type of virtual tour. A very popular one right now is called Matterport. So it's a 3D walkthrough of the home. You can actually go through, it zooms down in, it's on all floors of the property. And that's very nice too, because you can upload that right to the MLS and do a 3D walkthrough of the home that way too.
Are there still opportunities to sell right now?
Yes, absolutely. By us being able to still be considered essential workers and view properties, we absolutely can. And because of the technology that we have available, we're also able to do CMAs in the same way. So you may have someone that's interested in selling their home, and they also could be walking around showing you their house. And instead of you going there and seeing the home in person, you're able to look at it while they're at their home and you're at your office or at your home. And you can get an idea of what the property looks like. You can ask them questions as if you would be in person with them, see the home in detail. You're still able to do your comparative market analysis, and you're still able to list the home. We have Authenticign also as well, so everything can be done virtually without even stepping into the home.
How effective would you estimate that's been compared to an in-person home showing?
You know, it works great for even people out of town. So there's always going to be instances where, for whatever reason, whether it's the world we're in today or they're just not available to go in and it's a hot market and they have to see the property. Obviously, seeing a property in person is always better than doing it online. However, if you are in a situation and your buyer feels comfortable, not everyone's going to feel comfortable doing business this way. But I feel like a lot of buyers are willing to still look at it. And if it's something that they really like, then you could try to get an in-person showing. But I feel like most buyers know within the first few minutes of looking at a home inside if it's something that they're interested in. So this may not be something that they're going to purchase without seeing it in person, of course, but it could definitely be a very first step for them to see if it's something that they're interested in and want to set up an actual walkthrough showing on.
How do you conduct a virtual showing?
So typically what I've done is most of my clients are also on Facebook. So I do it right through Facebook Messenger, but I also know people that have used Zoom, or again, if you both have Apple, you can use the FaceTime option on there. Or Google Duo is another really good one. But what I've done typically is the Facebook app and the Messenger. You just want to make sure that you have good service, because if you don't, it can get a little choppy. So that's just something to think about wherever your showing is going to be.
How hard or easy is it to do?
You know, it's not hard at all, actually. I feel like if you can do the Instanet and Authenticign, this is even easier than that. It's basically opening up the chat that you're in, and usually there's a camera icon that you can click on, so it makes it very user-friendly. The tips that I would say is walk slow, hold the camera steady, and just know that they're still with you, but you just might have to go a little bit slower, especially if there's a lag and you want to make sure that you're not giving them motion sickness, basically. You want to go nice and slow, take your time, answer any questions that they have, just be a little bit more patient. It might take a little bit longer than if you were there themselves, because they're looking at different things while you're looking at different things. So you may be in a room a little bit longer. But I feel like in the situation that we have going today, this is definitely something that's going to help.
How have your clients reacted to, or your prospects reacted to these showings?
Well, it's been a necessity. So a lot of times in a hot market, when they're out of town and a property comes up, you still have to go see it that day, right? You can't pass up on it because it'll be sold by the time they get back. So it's come in very handy for buyers that are going to be coming in from out of town that want to look at properties, buyers that are on vacation, but a home comes up and they want to go see it. So I've used it several different ways. And like I said, also, as far as using this as a CMA, I think that's something that realtors don't always think about, but I think that that is also a really good option for something like this. And the other thing to think about too is natural lighting. So I don't know if you've ever tried taking a picture with the windows open. It might look great in person, but as soon as you try to take a picture of that into the sunlight, it's going to be darker. So make sure that you're also looking at your screen and seeing what they're seeing. I know it's easy to look around you while you're filming. You want to make sure that you're looking in your phone so you're seeing what your buyer is seeing. So that's another tip to think about.
Have you been doing this since before the outbreak of COVID-19?
Yes. Like I said, when you have a very hot market and your buyer's on vacation and a property comes on, you need them to see it. You can do it that way. Also, if you have a buyer that's going to be coming in from out of state and a house comes on the market that they want to see, you can go show it virtually as well. So I feel like a lot of agents have been doing this, but I think it's going to be utilized a lot more in a different way now.
Have you ever had anybody buy it, not sight unseen, but just from the virtual tour?
I personally have not, but I can tell you before even this pandemic started, this spring, we have low inventory and a lot of buyers in there. And I know in our office, we had several people receive offers on their property from people that hadn't even seen it, whether they see that it's coming soon and they write an offer before they've even seen it, or if they aren't going to be seeing it until tomorrow, they can't go see it, but they want to submit an offer because they know there's going to be other offers on it. So I know buyers have done it. It's just my buyers in particular have not, but it definitely does happen.
Are there any mistakes you made when you started doing this?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you have good service, because if they're, one time they were over in Paris and I'm talking to them on there, they didn't have the best Wi-Fi and I was in the country, I didn't have the best Wi-Fi. So we got through it, but it took a little bit of time. So just maybe keep that into consideration wherever your buyer is. You want to make sure they have a good signal, and you also want to make sure you have a good signal.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I really would. I think there's a really good quote that Bob Clark, who's our Minnesota president right now, said that technology cannot replace the great agent, but great agents will use the technology to serve their clients. And I feel like even though this is unprecedented times and everyone is struggling and it's a hardship, I feel like we still can conduct our business in a safe way and serve our clients.
That's a good one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.